Hi, I'm Brian Russell, and it is a privilege to serve as your instructor this semester in Old Testament IBS 610 Pentateuch. In this term, we're going to get to look at one of my favorite sections of the Old Testament, Genesis through Deuteronomy. Again, these are foundational texts. Some of the stories that we're going to look at and study are really some of the most iconic ones in the Old Testament and have greatly impacted Christian theology and even Western culture with their message. Now, open up the syllabus and make sure that you've actually downloaded the most current one, which is available in our online classroom. Since you're seeing this video, I'm assuming you've checked into the online classroom, but please discard any earlier version of the syllabus that you have and replace it with the one that I've uploaded in our online classroom. There you'll see the latest versions of the assignments. The books are the same, but I have redone some of the assignments to be a better fit for where I think we need to go with our learning this semester. Also, make sure that you're aware of the on-campus portion of this class. This is a hybrid intensive course, which means we have a little over 50% of our class will be in person on a 3-day intensive. That's October 24th, beginning at 2 p.m. and then October 25th and 26th. Both of those days will start at 8:30. That's on the Orlando campus. So I look forward to meeting you in person, but we will have assignments beginning today, the beginning of the class, September the 4th, all the way through the semester ending on December the 14th. So make sure that you're aware that we're going to be working. This is an inductive Bible study class. You all have had either Matthew or Mark, so you sort of know that this is an intensive study of Scripture. Make sure you have on hand a good modern non-paraphrase of the Scriptures. Those of you who have had Hebrew, plan on attempting to use some Hebrew at different places in your work. And also have access to commentaries. I didn't have you buy a lot of commentaries. Actually, I didn't have you buy any commentaries simply because we're going to be working in 5 different books, and that can be expensive. I'll shoot a video that also shows some good commentaries that you can use. You're going to want to use Asbury Scholar to access online resources. And again, I don't want you to have to feel like you have to buy a lot of biblical commentaries, but you need to have access to scholarly literature when we do our interpretation assignments. So you can check out the video that introduces some different commentaries. Also look at the bibliography that I have in the class as well if you need some suggestions. Now, and you all know what inductive Bible study is. One of the special emphases of this semester, though, is we're going to finish the whole process from survey to interpretation to evaluation to application. So a special part of this class will focus on learning to do the evaluation application process, which we'll get to once we've moved into the semester. The opening assignments will review what you've learned in Matthew or Mark, which is survey of segments, interpretation of segments and passages. This semester, you'll have the bigger challenge of surveying really large books. We will be preparing surveys on Exodus and Deuteronomy, and then you'll have your choice of Leviticus or Numbers. So we'll be doing some surveys of whole books. We're also going to be working through some very large segments. So this class will help you to work through larger portions of Scripture and then interpreting smaller sections once you've done surveys of these larger sections. Now, one of the things, if you haven't had me for class before, what I like to do in inductive Bible study is introduce what I call a missional hermeneutic. It's a way of reading the Scripture that's not just for the church, but it's for the world. So I'm going to introduce you some different ways of reading the Scripture that will greatly expand the power of inductive Bible study. We'll be talking about how to preach from the Pentateuch and one of the textbooks we have is one book on preaching by Ellen Davis, Wondrous Depths. You'll like this book. If you have a previous version of the syllabus, I have moved up the due date so we can talk about this book when we're on campus in our intensive. And then, of course, your main text will just be inductive Bible study. We'll be reading through the whole book quickly. Again, reviewing early in the semester. You want to have a look at pages 1 to 278 to get back up to speed. And I have lots of videos that will guide you so that you can do the best job that you can. What you'll note is I'm going to give feedback on assignments earlier in the semester so that you'll know how to improve your work. Your actual letter grade will depend on a few things. I have a way of averaging out the whole term, but I also like if you turn all your work in, the grade is really based on your final projects, because at that point you're actually demonstrating to me what your learnings have been. So if you haven't had me before, I often tell students this: if you're gonna you want to feel the freedom to really gain and make inductive Bible study methodology your own. So don't worry about making mistakes especially about format early in the semester, because as long as you're doing the work, I will give you sufficient feedback to get you ready to do your very best, most awesome inductive Bible study assignments by the end of the semester. So work hard all the way through the term, and you're going to be really happy with where you end up. And even more importantly, the people that will listen to you teach and preach the wonderful content of the scriptures are going to be really happy that you worked hard this term. Again, I invite you to jump into the rest of the class. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to serve. I'm going to have the options at different points in the semester of doing like group questions and answers on Zoom. I'll announce that. But you're always free to reach out, and I can set up a one-on-one talk if you need some help. Shoot me an email. We can set up a time. I look forward to meeting those of you who haven't met previously when we're on campus in October. But otherwise, jump into the semester and let's make it a good one and do it all for the glory of the Lord. Again, I'm Brian Russell, and I look forward to a great term with you.